Hi everyone. So here we are on our next lecture, which is on the ninth schedule of the Constitution of India. If you have gone through the previous videos, you know that we are doing it as a story format, and we have reached to a point wherein we have seen that how, as exceptions to the fundamental rights, three of the provisions were kept in the Constitution. So basically, now this topic actually is to be read with one of those exceptions. We have talked about three exceptions, and what are those exceptions? Article 31A, 31B, and 31C. So this ninth schedule has to be read along with this 31B of the Constitution, and therefore we will see the all of the exceptions so that we finish one broader topic also, and within that we'll read these two together so that you understand about the ninth schedule. And then when you do the Keshwananda Bharati case and the basic structure doctrine in the coming videos, you will have all the clarity that is needed to be done. I repeat, you do not have to worry that we are taking certain sections from the fundamental rights to be discussed here, because otherwise the overall fundamental rights as a topic definitely will do it when that series comes. Okay, so most probably I think in the coming week we will start doing that. Okay, let's now understand again the backgrounds of it. So we have seen that by a number of successive amendments, it was first amendment, seventh amendment, fourth amendment was there, 25th was there, 42nd was there, like so many amendments we have seen in the previous video, which led to certain exceptions which related to the obligations under article 31, and it was introduced by the parliaments. So basically actually there were four: 31A, B, C and D, but 31D has been omitted later, so that is actually not to be studied. So just giving you a quick overview of how, because we are doing it from the original articles, so you shouldn't be surprised or find any problem in that. So let's see, that is 31A is here. I'll just read it out, hold on. 31B is here, 31C is here, and 31D as you can see कि ये बाद में जो है वो omitted हो गया था, तो इसको पढ़ना ही नहीं होता है, so therefore we do not count this. Okay, 3 has to be counted: 31A, B and C. Now see what is the name of this article 31A. ठीक है, यू कैन रीड दिस सेक्शन फ्रॉम लक्ष्मीकांत ऑल्सो. आपको लक्ष्मीकांत में ना बहुत आराम से उसके जो सेक्शंस डिवाइडेड हैं इन द चैप्टर ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स, यू विल फाइंड अ हेडिंग एक्सेप्शंस टू फंडामेंटल राइट्स. ठीक है, आप उसको वहाँ से understand this from the whole constitution right now and then do the short format, because each and every line given in Lakshmikant is important regarding these three articles. Nothing is what you can miss from there. So just after hearing the video, just revise that section from the book and finish it. Have a tick mark, have a check mark कि हाँ ये मैंने कर लिया, उसको ख़त्म कर लीजिएगा साथ में. चलिए, let's read what it is saying. It is saying that savings of laws providing for acquisition of states etc. Now this term states has certain meaning here. Basically ये land के piece के लिए ही use होता है, उसका description आगे दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, तो उस पर हम आएंगे आराम से. So it says that because these are three exceptions to fundamental rights. Why did we need the exceptions? See, you have understood in the topic whatever we have done by far that anything Parliament has the right to amend the constitution in any manner, but anything which is a basic feature, although we have not done the basic structure doctrine yet, ठीक है, उसका evolution आप समझोगे, but we have done the core idea of that. So it was said by judiciary in the Keshwananda Bharati case that anything which forms a basic feature or which is a core of the constitution is not supposed to be amended. So fundamental rights can be amended, but it shouldn't be the basic structure or the basic feature. The another idea is that it was said that, or it was understood that there are provisions which are giving the guarantee that they can be questioned, because if you remember about article 13 हमने यही करा था कि if that will be in inconsistency with the fundamental right, it would be considered as void. So to protect certain laws to be counted as void, 3 exceptions were introduced by the parliament. ठीक है, I hope you get the idea now. So यहाँ पे 31A में they are telling, and this was, see this is number 3, footnote number 3 क्या कहता है, this was inserted by first amendment act itself. ठीक है, तो ये फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से आया और फिर उसके नीचे के कुछ पॉइंट्स आए, देखते हैं क्या है. that we are saving certain laws which are providing for the acquisition of states etc. अब ये कह रहा है that notwithstanding, which means despite of anything contained in article 13, if you have forgotten, we will just quickly revise Article 13, although you shouldn't forget because that is the most important article we have done, that the laws which will be inconsistent with or in derogation of the fundamental rights will be considered void. ठीक है, this was the Article 13. So उसी को बचाने के लिए अब ये कहा जा रहा है that irrespective of or despite of anything which is given in Article 13, no law which provides for these 5 things. So remember, Article 31A में the immunity is given to these 5 things only. What are these? We'll just see. So no law providing for these 5 things shall be deemed to be void on the ground that it is inconsistent with or takes away or abridges any of the rights conferred by Article 14 or 19. These two are fundamental rights. This is right to equality से related है और ये right to freedom से related है. Just to show you the wordings of Article 14 and 19, which we'll do separately when that topic comes again. Article 19 is protection of certain rights regarding freedom. ठीक है, तो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, एक्सप्रेशन, असेंबल, आर्म्स, एसोसिएशन, मूवमेंट, एट्सेट्रा एट्सेट्रा. और यहीं पे था वो एफ. डू यू रिमेंबर? राइट टू वन में वी डिड आर्टिकल 19(1)(f. ठीक है, वो यहीं पे था. दैट वाज अबाउट दैट राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी, बट वो बाद में हट गया, देयरफॉर इट इज़ नॉट गिवन हियर. यू सी हियर 4 के साथ ऐसे दिया हुआ है ना, तो ये इट वॉज ओमिटेड लेटर. ठीक है. एंड वॉट इज आर्टिकल 14 सेइंग? इट इज सेइंग अबाउट इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ. सो इक्वालिटी बिफोर लॉ एंड दिस फ्रीडम रिलेटेड राइट्स, उसी को लेके यहाँ पे हम बात कर रहे हैं 31A में. दैट इफ any of these laws are being made, it will not be considered void, saying that it is taking away the articles of fundamental rights 14 and 19. Also, provided where such law is made by state legislature. So protection is given to such laws which is made by parliament also and state legislature also. But if it is made by parliament, ऐसा कोई condition नहीं है. But if these kind of laws will be made by state legislature, then the provisions of this article shall not apply thereto unless such law, having been reserved for the consideration of the president, has received his assent. तो यहाँ पे क्या बोला जा रहा है basically कि this article will not immunize a state law from the judicial review, because considering void means कि judicial review हो रहा है, judiciary is reviewing. So it is telling that this part is telling in other language, if I have to explain you, that it will not immunize a state law from judicial review unless it has been reserved from president's consideration. तो पार्लियामेंट को तो हम दे ही रहे हैं, बट स्टेट के केस में इफ इट वॉज नॉट रिजर्व्ड फॉर द असेंट ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट तो हम उसको नहीं देंगे. ठीक है, एंड इट हैज़ रिसीव्ड द प्रेसिडेंट्स असेंट ऑल्सो. सो इफ देर इज नो इंक्लूजन ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट हियर, देन द स्टेट लॉज, if they have made certain laws related to these matter, will not get any immunization under this article. ये भी इसी में clarify कर दिया गया है. Okay, then further it is said, this we have done earlier. You see 6th number, it was inserted by 17th Amendment Act 1964. अभी कल के ही क्लास में आपको ये चीज़ मैंने करवाई थी. I don't know if you remember. This was about paying the compensation. ठीक है, जब हम लोग ये टॉपिक जो है वो डिस्कस कर रहे थे, ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स दैट वी हैव डन, तो वी टॉक्ड अबाउट द कॉम्पेंसेशन ऑल्सो, एंड वहीं से ये एक्सेप्शंस वाली बात हुई थी. ठीक है, सो दिस वॉज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय दिस कि आपको जो कॉम्पेंसेशन है, दिस इज आर्टिकल 31A का जो एडिशन हुआ था, दैट लैंड हेल्ड बाय अ पर्सन अंडर हिज पर्सनल कल्टिवेशन विल बी प्रोटेक्टेड, एंड इफ द लैंड इज अंडर स्टैट्यूटरी सीलिंग लिमिट्स, वहाँ पे जो है कुछ भी आपको कंपनसेशन के लिए प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी, एंड द कंपनसेशन एट द मार्केट वैल्यू इज गोइंग टू बी गिवन. इसी का डिटेल फॉर्मेट हम यहाँ पे पढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है, दैट इज द होल, दैट वाज द शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट. दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट वर्डिंग्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. लेट्स रीड व्हाट इट सेज. It says that provided further that where any law makes any provision for acquisition by the state of any state and where any land comprised. So in short it is telling कि any kind of state, if it is acquired by the state, ठीक है, that land is held by a person under his personal cultivation. यही हमने देखा कि under his personal cultivation it shall not be lawful for the state to acquire portion of such land which is within the ceiling limit. ठीक है, स्टैट्यूटरी सीलिंग लिमिट में है तो स्टेट उसको नहीं करेगा, और अगर वो लेते हैं to building structure और ऐसा कुछ भी बनाने के लिए, then they have to provide for payment of compensation at the market value, so at a rate which shall not be less than the market value. So that is obvious, they'll not give more, but which means market value as a compensation has to be provided, and it was inserted by 17th Amendment Act 1964. I hope now you have understood about the details of Article 31A. So let's quickly see कि ये 5 चीज़ें क्या दी गई हैं. रीडिंग दिस माइट कन्फ्यूज़ यू, ठीक है. तो इसका शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट हम लक्ष्मीकांत से करेंगे, जहाँ पे ये चीज़ें बहुत ही ईजी फॉर्मेट में दी गई हैं. इस पूरे को देखिए इन्होंने शॉर्ट में समराइज कर दिया. देयरफॉर आई हैव सेड दैट यू हैव टू रीड इट बिकॉज एवरी सिंगल बिट गिवन हियर इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So the 5 things which get immunity under Article 31A includes these 5. Acquisition of states and related rights by the state, taking over the management of properties by the state, amalgamation of corporations, जो corporations होते हैं उनका मिल जाना, amalgamation, then extinguishment or modification, which means either rights को ख़त्म करना, extinguish करना और modify करना. किसके rights को? Directors को या फिर shareholders के, जो corporations होंगे. So the directors and the shareholders of the corporations, so either to extinguish their right or modify their rights, and extinguishment or modification of the mining leases. ठीक है, जो माइनिंग के केस में जो लीजेस जाते हैं, ये 5 एक्सेप्शंस आपको दिए गए हैं, उसी का डिटेल यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. तो इफ़ यू वांट यू कैन रीड इट ऑल्सो, बट यू विल गेट कन्फ्यूज्ड विद द टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, सो डू नॉट वरी योर सेल्फ विद दैट. बट द मेन कॉन्टेंट, this point, this point, this point and this point I have explained in detail to you. Next, I am not giving it in writing for the reason that, as I just said, everything which is given here in Lakshmikant is important to be read, like each and every line, so we cannot help it out. So my work now is to make you understand first of all. Okay, then it is also giving the clarification that here the expression state is in relation to any local area, and it is having the same meaning as that expression or local equivalent has in the existing law, because it is related to the land tenure in that area. So it will include जो भी वहाँ के local language में बात होती होगी. So local language में let's say they are giving you certain terms. Now these terms history से related हैं, so they can be actually asked in the exam also prelims में. So you should know. चाहे उसके लिए आप जागीर term use करो, ठीक है, आपने पढ़ा होगा पहले भी जागीरदारी क्राइसिस के बारे में. इनाम यूज़ करो, मुआफ़ी यूज़ करो, ठीक है. Any land which is held under रेवतवारी settlement, history में you have done this. Then any land held for the purpose of agriculture or some ancillary stuff, related stuff, अब किसी भी type का land है. So all of these examples are given. And rights is about rights of the proprietor, sub-proprietor, under-proprietor, tenure holder, etc. etc. तो ये बस पढ़ने के लिए था. That is not to be asked in the paper. Yes, but these terms you should be familiar with. So this was all about Article 31A. First exception that we are protecting laws related to these 5 categories, that they will not be challenged or they will not be considered as void, saying that it is violating or taking away or abridging any of these rights. ठीक है, fundamental rights. Next is this, जहाँ पर हम बात करते हैं 9th schedule की. 31B says validation of certain acts and regulations. Now what it is telling? It is telling that without prejudice to the generality of, again, these are actually slight technical. I'll try to make it simple. And for the simplicity, again, we have the section from Lakshmikant because it is actually given in a very, very simple language here. I just want to make you familiar with how the constitution is written also. So we'll consider both of the things. Okay. So it is telling that with prejudice to the generality of the provisions contained in Article 31A. कि Article 31A में जो अभी we have seen ऊपर आपको कुछ generality दिए गए, 5 provisions specifically they have mentioned. None of the acts and regulations specified in 9th schedule nor any of the provisions shall be deemed to be void. So in short, what it is telling that anything, any act or regulation which is given in 9th schedule, इस पे हम अभी बात करेंगे, you don't have to worry. So anything given in 9th schedule will not be void, or it will never become void on the ground that that act, regulation or provision is inconsistent with, or it is taking away, or it is abridging. The same terms are used, so I think now you are familiar. The whole idea is कि they will not be questioned on the idea that they are not related. I mean, they are in some way inconsistent with the fundamental rights. ठीक है? And notwithstanding any judgment, decree or order. Now see, it has 2 parts. So it is telling irrespective of any judgment, decree is also kind of order. So irrespective of any judgment, decree or order of any court or tribunal, Each of these acts and regulations will subject to the power of any competent legislature to repeal or amend, continue to enforce. मतलब हमें कोर्ट के किसी ऑर्डर से फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, लेजिस्लेचर अपने हिसाब से इसको मैनेज कर सकती है. विच इन शॉर्ट इट इज़ टेलिंग कि जुडिशियल रिव्यू नहीं अप्लाई होगा. बट लेटर यहाँ पर चीज़ें जो हैं वो चेंज हुई थी. हाउ द स्टोरी अनफोल्डेड, लेट्स लुक हियर. So what it is telling, firstly let's understand 9th schedule में आखिर है क्या. Then although I have explained this when I was discussing about the schedules, I have explained this to you, so it shouldn't be technically a problem. but ठीक है, अगर आपको परेशानी होती भी है in case, तो हम यहाँ से इसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो आर्टिकल 9th schedule में बेसिकली है क्या. 9th schedule में if you will notice, ओरिजिनली इट कंटेन्ड 13 एक्ट्स एंड रेगुलेशंस. लेटर अभी 2016 के हिसाब से नंबर दे आर गिविंग यू 282, बट ऑफकोर्स ये नंबर जो है वो इंक्रीज हो चुका होगा अभी तक. बट अंडरस्टैंड हाउ मेनी आर देयर. तो सी, दिस इज हाउ द 9th schedule is given in Lakshmikant, and we have done this earlier. So it says that it contains, and you can see the related article 31B. So it says that acts and regulations which were originally 13, but now of course 282 plus will be there. So acts and regulations of the state legislature and of the parliament. So firstly understand कि इसको, if you have to bifurcate the contents of 9th schedule, we'll say that it is containing certain acts plus certain regulations. Now they are passed by the state legislature also and parliament also. Okay. Now these acts and legislatures, acts and regulations which are passed by the state legislature, they are dealing with the specific matters. And what are those matters? लैंड रिफॉर्म्स एंड अबॉलिशन ऑफ जमींदारी सिस्टम. ठीक है, जमींदारी सिस्टम का अबॉलिशन. सो इफ द एक्ट्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आर passed by state legislature, they need to deal with land reforms and abolition of zamindari system. And if we talk about parliament, it is dealing with other matters. कोई specify नहीं किया गया है, it is just said it is dealing with other matters. So basically what is the component of 9th schedule? What does it contain? I'll show you how it looks like in the original constitution. Okay, I'm trying to show you every single thing. So 9th schedule is containing the acts and regulations which, if passed by the state legislature, has to include the land rights related points and abolition of zamindari system. And if it is passed by parliament, it is dealing with other matters. The schedule was not in the original constitution. The schedule was added by the First Amendment Act 1951 only. ठीक है. एंड हु वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर देन? जवाहरलाल नेहरू. ये प्रीलिम्स में क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है. व्हेन आई शो यू द PYQ, दिस क्वेश्चन हैज कम. व्हाई वाज इट एडेड बाय द फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट एक्ट? टू प्रोटेक्ट द लॉज इंक्लूडेड इन इट फ्रॉम जुडिशियल स्क्रूटिनी ऑन द ग्राउंड ऑफ वायलेशन ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स. क्योंकि ये चीज़ तो लिखा हुआ था कि वट एवर 9th schedule में जो भी चीज़ें आएंगी उसमें क्या हो जाएगा कि दे विल बी प्रोटेक्टेड. लाइक इफ़ यू आर पुटिंग एनी लॉ इन द 9th schedule, दैट इज प्रोटेक्टेड. इनिशियली दैट वाज द केस, दैट इट विल बी प्रोटेक्टेड ऑन द ग्राउंड्स ऑफ बीइंग क्वेश्चन दैट इट इज़ वायलेटिंग फंडामेंटल राइट्स. बट लेटर इन 2007, सो वॉट केस वॉज दिस? IR कोएलो केस. अभी आपको दिखाऊंगी लक्ष्मीकांत के ही दूसरे सेक्शन में. इन दिस केस द सुप्रीम कोर्ट रूल्ड कि नो, दिस इज अनजस्टिफाइड. Laws included in this schedule after 24th April 1973. What is the significance of this date? केशवानंद भारती केस का judgment which gave us the basic structure doctrine. ठीक है, जो हमारा next 2 lectures का content है. So the Supreme Court had given this basic structure doctrine on 24th of April 1973. So they said that okay, the laws included in the 9th schedule before this date, we will not touch that, we will not ask any question about it. But if the law has been included after this cutoff date, it will be open to judicial review, because यहाँ पर आ गया था that judicial review is also a basic structure. So you cannot question it. ठीक है, now you know what is 9th schedule. So now we'll try to see कि वो exactly उसमें बोला क्या गया है. But before that, see how the 9th schedule in the constitution looks like. इस तरीके से आप देखो, बहुत सारे देखिए ये सब आपको दिख रहे हैं. दीज आर ऑल स्टेट रिलेटेड एक्ट्स. तो ये सब में है कुछ लैंड रिफॉर्म्स, टेनेंसी, एग्रीकल्चर, टेन्योर, अबॉलिशन, एट्सेट्रा एट्सेट्रा. ऑल ऑफ दीज आर रिलेटेड टू इधर जमींदारी सिस्टम और the land reforms. So you can see this is a whole list. We don't have to go through it, we don't have to remember it. I'm just trying to show you कि how different states का, West Bengal, Bombay, Odisha, Tripura, etc etc. और फिर कुछ बाकी भी है. Central Act जो है, you are seeing it has to relate it to the other matters. So it is given about the other matters like coking coal mines का हो गया, general insurance का हो गया, copper corporation का हो गया, silk textile etc. तो states का भी है और center का भी है. Let's see how many are included right now. This is the latest edition of the constitution that I could have got. Okay, so अभी हम 284 देख पा रहे हैं. ठीक है, जो लास्ट आपका यहाँ पे एडेड दिखा रहा है, दैट इज 284 यू आर सीइंग हियर. ओके, now you know what is 9th schedule and how it looks like in the original constitution also. Now it shouldn't be a problem to you. So अब हम ये समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि लक्ष्मीकांत में उसके डिटेल जो आर्टिकल 31B से सेक्शन है वो क्या दिया हुआ है. So let's see what is given here. It says that Article 31B saves the acts and regulations. Now the word shouldn't be a problem for you. Saves the acts and regulations included in 9th schedule from being challenged and invalidated on the ground of contravention of any fundamental right. So whatever law and acts and regulations if included in the 9th schedule will not be challenged and questioned on the ground that it has violated any fundamental right. Why do we say that the scope of 31B is wider than 31A? Because in 31A we have seen that only 5 specific laws were given that immunity, only 5 specific. But here what we are telling that any law which is in the 9th schedule, and we have seen huge number, so any law which is in the 9th schedule will not fall under and I mean it not necessarily fall under those 5 categories only, and therefore we say that the scope of this article is wider than 31A. But then I told you, अभी हमने देखा कि 2007 में an important judgment came which was IR Coelho case. इसके बारे में कभी और बात करेंगे. ठीक है, in this case the Supreme Court ruled that we cannot give you any blanket immunity, which means कि आप बस इस नाम से एक चादर ढक लिया, आपने एक blanket ढक लिया और आप कह रहे हो कि we are just because blanket immunity would mean that you have just kept something under 9th schedule and you feel that you will be protected, immunized. So no, we will not protect your laws if they are included in 9th schedule from judicial review. But they gave the cutoff date definitely क्योंकि basic structure का point जहाँ से आया था, because they had given this point that judicial review is a basic feature. So of course when they gave this doctrine वहीं से इसको लागू कर सकते थे. They couldn't do it before that, right? So they said that the laws placed under the 9th schedule after this date are open to challenge if they are violating any of these fundamental rights like Article 14, 15, 19, 21. I have shown you 14 and 19. 15 is also about equality. We'll see it later. And it is about life, liberty. That also we'll see later. And why this date? As I just said, because it was this date that the Supreme Court propounded the doctrine of basic structure in the Keshwananda Bharati case. And originally we have seen 13 acts थे. अभी आपके नंबर ज़्यादा हो चुके हैं. We have seen that. And स्टेट वाले में जो हैं वो लैंड रिफॉर्म से डील होंगे, ज़मींदारी सिस्टम से डील होंगे, एंड पार्लियामेंट वाले अदर मैटर्स से डील होंगे. ठीक है, सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट 31B एंड 9th schedule. आई होप थिंग्स आर क्लियर टू यू. नाउ वी विल मूव टू आर्टिकल 31C. सो फर्स्ट विल रीड इट फ्रॉम द ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, देन विल सी हाउ द सिंपल एक्सप्लेनेशन इज गिवन इन लक्ष्मीकांत. सो यहाँ पे 31C में क्या है? सेविंग ऑफ लॉज गिविंग इफेक्ट टू सर्टेन डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स. So you know that all of these 3 articles 31A, B and C are about saving of certain laws because they are exceptions to the fundamental rights wala thing, right? So one was saving of 5 specific laws, another was saving of those laws which are given in 9th schedule, another is saving of laws which are giving to certain directive principles. Now we'll do this topic separately, but for the time being understand directive principles of state policy which are given in part 4 of the constitution. Deals with it. It looks something like this if I have to show you. Directive principles of state policy, and then certain articles are given here. ठीक है, so all of these things will do. So directive principles are basically those principles which are kind of giving a directive, a kind of hint to the state or a roadmap to the state that while making policies, okay, so these are the directive, these are giving you the direction. So if you follow these principles while making policies, it would be good for the citizens. That is it. ओके, जस्ट ब्रीफली अंडरस्टैंड दिस. तो अब इन्होंने क्या करना शुरू किया? अब इन्होंने क्या बोला पार्लियामेंट ने? अच्छा, what is the basic difference in fundamental rights and DPSP is that if your fundamental rights are infringed, if someone has violated that, you can directly go to even the Supreme Court. But in the case of directive principles, they are not justiciable. Like you cannot go to the court and ask that, okay, you have given this in the constitution, the DPSP, but the states are not doing this, so you cannot question that. Okay, तो जब हम करेंगे डिटेल आपको ज़्यादा समझ में आएगा, बट दिस इज़ द बेसिक थिंग. तो यहाँ पे पार्लियामेंट ने क्या करा कि अब डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स के लिए कोर्ट जाके तो आपको रेमेडी मिल नहीं सकती है, दैट इज़ नॉट द प्रोविजन. सो दे थॉट दैट एटलीस्ट some directive principles should be given that higher edge over the fundamental right. So they kept it as an exception. Initially they gave it only for 2 articles. Later they tried to bring all the articles. देखते हैं क्या हुआ था. तो यहाँ पे इन्होंने क्या बोला that notwithstanding means despite of anything given in Article 13. Again Article 13. No law which is giving effect to the state policy towards securing all or any of the principles in 4. So as I said, initially इन्होंने 2 ही की बात करी थी, बाद में इन्होंने सारे directive principles को include कर दिया. So they said that, let's say whatever these directive principles are given, let's say it is telling that the state has to secure a social order for the promotion of welfare, or these principles they are telling कि equal payment और ये सब होना चाहिए. So they are telling कि अब मान लीजिए हमको equal payment करना है, तो and let's say if you are making a law for that, ठीक है, और फॉर एनी ऑफ दीज प्रोविजन, लेट्स से वी आर मेकिंग अ लॉ फॉर दैट. सो दिस इज व्हाट दे आर टेलिंग दैट एनी लॉ विच इज़ गिविंग इफेक्ट टू दैट पॉलिसी, क्योंकि कोई लॉ बनेगा तो ही तो वो इस इफेक्ट को कर पाएगा ना. पॉलिसीज तो सिर्फ डायरेक्शंस हैं, वो तो सिर्फ एक रास्ता दिखाने के लिए हैं. दे आर एक्चुअली नॉट द लॉज. To bring them into picture, to bring them into principle, practically applicability, you have to come up with laws. So that is what is given in this article, that if any law is giving effect to such policy, it will not be considered void on the ground that it is inconsistent with the fundamental rights conferred by 14 or 19. ठीक है, इनिशियली ये बोला गया. एंड इट वॉज ऑल्सो सेड दैट नो लॉ कंटेनिंग अ डिक्लेरेशन दैट इट इज़ गिविंग टू इफेक्ट टू सच पॉलिसी, विच मीन्स ऐसा कोई भी जो लॉ है जिसमें ये लिखा होगा विच विल डिक्लेयर that we are giving effect to this policy, you will not call that law in question in any court on the ground of that it does not give effect, which means judicial review आप नहीं करोगे. in short this is what is meant. और फिर यही बात बोलेगी कि अगर स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर द्वारा पास कराया गया है तो उसको तभी मिलेगा इम्यूनाइजेशन इफ़ इट वाज रिजर्व्ड फ्रॉम प्रेसिडेंट असेंट एंड रिसीव्ड असेंट. ठीक है, तो स्टेट के लिए उतना इक्वली एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. नाउ लेट्स सी कि लक्ष्मीकांत सिंप्लीफाइज कैसे करते हैं इस चीज़ को. बहुत अच्छे से दिया हुआ है, सो यू हैव टू रीड अगैन ईच एंड एवरी लाइन. Firstly, you have to remember that this Article 31C was inserted by 25th Amendment Act 1971 और केशवानंद भारती केस कब आया था 73 में. सो बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर अभी तक बात नहीं की गई है. ठीक है. Now it was said that firstly, as I said, initially it was given for these 2 articles only, 39B or C. Later, and these 2 are directive principles. Later it was given for the other directive principles. So what it is telling, no law, I'll show you what 39B and C are. No law that seeks to implement the socialistic directive principles given in these articles will be void on the contravention of 14 and 19. ठीक है. And then it was said no law will be asked or will be questioned in any court on the ground that it is not giving effect to a policy. तो ये तो क्लियर हो गया. लेकिन केशवानंद भारती केस में व्हाट सुप्रीम कोर्ट सेड, उन्होंने बोला कि जो सेकेंड प्रोविजन है वो क्या है, अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल और इनवैलिड है. दिस वन कि दिस इज अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इनवैलिड. वाई? बिकॉज यू आर आस्किंग द जुडिशरी टू नॉट इंटरवीन इन इट, बट जुडिशियल रिव्यू इज इटसेल्फ अ बेसिक फीचर. सो ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. बट दे हेल्ड दैट दिस वन कि हम 39B और C को प्रोटेक्शन दे रहे हैं, उसको एक्सेप्शन रख रहे हैं, एंड वी आर गिविंग इट एज ओवर फंडामेंटल राइट, वी आर एक्सेप्टिंग इट बिकॉज दीज आर इंपॉर्टेंट वंस, तो इट इज़ ओके. तो अब व्हाट पार्लियामेंट थॉट, दे कुडेंट क्वेश्चन दिस बेसिक राइट थिंग. इसका तो दे कुडेंट डू इट कि कुछ कर ही नहीं पाए. सो व्हाट दे थॉट कि वाई ओनली दीज 2 आर्टिकल्स, लेट्स हैव ऑल द डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स. कोर्ट हैज़ एनीवेज अग्रीड टू दिस, है ना. सो लेट्स हैव ऑल द आर्टिकल्स. सो 42nd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 76 में दे एक्सटेंडेड द स्कोप ऑफ द फर्स्ट प्रोविजन एंड विद इन इट दे इंक्लूडेड प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ एनी लॉ to implement the any of the directive principle, and not only B or C, 39B or C. They said any DPSP will be getting immunization. But then judiciary also understood कि once we have agreed does not mean that every time you will do this. So this extension was declared as unconstitutional in the Minerva Mill case. ठीक है, तो present idea is only about 39B and C. So now let's understand 39B और C में ऐसा क्या था जिसको permission भी मिल गई and which the parliament proposed to be giving edge over that. So it was about, see this is 39 and B and C. कि the state shall direct its policy towards securing that the ownership and control of material resources of community are so distributed as best to subserve the common good. In short, what it is trying to say that जो भी मटेरियल रिसोर्सेज हैं कम्युनिटी का, मतलब कम्युनिटी रिसोर्सेज है विच आर नॉट ओन्ड बाय individuals, private, not private property but community property. Okay, so the ownership and control of such a property or community has to be distributed in that manner that it serves the purpose of everybody's good. So this is a socialistic principle where we are focusing about the whole benefit of the community or the society. Another is that the operation of the economic system does not result in concentration of wealth. You know different kinds of economic system, capitalist, socialist, हमारा mixed economy है, ठीक है, अब ये सब economy में आपको पढ़ना है, but just understand what it means is that whatever economic system you are following, the way you are operating it, it should not result in concentration of wealth and means of production to the common detriment, which means इस तरीके से wealth का concentration or means of production shouldn't happen in one hand that it is resulting in the detriment for the common good or for the public, which means the public shouldn't have any negative result because of the concentration of wealth and means of production. So these are about 39B and C, and you can see that both are related to, one is community resource, another is community benefit, ठीक है, or not community exploitation. Therefore initially they put forward these कि इस पे ऐसा होना चाहिए कि if the parliament is making any laws to bring these two into effect, they shouldn't be asked कि अब हम community में जब हम सबको बराबरी का देना चाह रहे हैं तो अब इसको fundamental rights के हिसाब पे question मत कर देना, ठीक है, this or this, ठीक है. I hope now you are clear with 39A, B and C, and we are done till here. These were as I said the sections from the book, you should read them. इसके बाद फिर बाकी चीज़ें फंडामेंटल राइट्स की, बट दैट विल डू व्हेन दैट टॉपिक कम्स. सो ओके, आई विल सी यू गाइज इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो एंड डिस्कस मोर अबाउट द क्वेश्चन ऑन द भारती केस एंड द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्रिन. थैंक यू सो मच गाइज, टेक केयर टिल देन, बाय बाय.